Hello, my name is Tony Tackett. I'm Program Director for Radiation Therapy at Amarillo College, and I'm here getting us started on the online orientation. That's part of the application process for our program. The purpose of this orientation, which is obviously now available online, is to kind of tell you more about the field of radiation therapy, tell you more specifically about our program at Amarillo College, and kind of talk you through the application process and all the documentation that you need to provide us for the application process. And I think you'll find that this orientation will answer many, if not all, of your questions about radiation therapy and about our particular program. And certainly I think you'll find it to be very, very helpful and informative. One thing to kind of get us started is, as a part of the application packet, you'll see a page that looks something like this. It's the Online Video Orientation Keywords page. Please have this page handy as we go through the orientation. If you don't have it handy now, you might hit pause and come back to this once you get the keywords page. This is important in that each section that we're going to go through in this orientation process, and there are several little videos that will be a part of this orientation process. During each little section, I will say anywhere from 1 to 4 keywords. And as I say, a keyword for this section is such and such, then you write down what that keyword is or keywords are. There will be there's spaces for up to 4 keywords for each section, but each section doesn't have to have 4 keywords. Many of them will just have 1 or 2 or 3, and maybe some will have 4. So just have this handy and write down the keywords, and you'll turn this keyword sheet in with your other application materials. This will, in essence, validate that you've gone through the online orientation process. So kind of keep this in mind as we're going through the packet. The first thing we will talk about in the application packet, so again, have your application packet handy. If you don't have it printed out, then go ahead and print out, or you can either print it out from online, which you've probably done, or if you need to get a copy from somewhere other than Computer Source, you can contact Amarillo College at area code 806-371-5175 and request a radiation therapy application packet. The cover page looks like this. Let's skip the cover page and we'll go right into the next page, which looks like this. Ta-da! And it looks like a letter, and it basically is kind of a letter, welcome, how do you do, welcome to Amarillo College, glad you're interested in our program kind of thing. And it talks a little bit about some general information about Amarillo College and our program. I think really the only noteworthy thing that's on this page is the large paragraph there where it talks about students that will be living in the Amarillo area during the program will be attending their clinicals in Amarillo as well as in Lubbock and in Clovis also. So there's going to be some driving involved. Our students do some driving to some other clinics that are located a fair ways away. Lubbock and Clovis are both about a 2-hour drive. The reason that we have some of these long-distance clinics is, well, there's several reasons really. One is simply that there's just not enough clinical space in Amarillo to house all of our students, so we have to find other clinics. And Lubbock and Clovis have kindly offered spaces for us, and they're very nice, very modern facilities. Lubbock has a couple of facilities that we utilize, and Clovis has one facility that we utilize. And the students really, if you haven't driven from Amarillo to Lubbock or Clovis, well, not the most scenic drive. It's maybe you want to invest in an iPod or something to kind of keep you company along the way. One thing I would say about the traveling is that with maybe 1, maybe 2 exceptions, you'll be doing nearly all the driving with at least one other fellow student, one other partner, so that can kind of help maybe keep you awake during the drive and also kind of help cut gas costs. Something else that I've just learned that can really help with the gas costs is that it may be too late to apply for this for the fall semester of each year already, but if you plan well ahead, maybe you can get it planned appropriately, and certainly for subsequent semesters this may help you tremendously, is that there is a scholarship program available for students that have to do a lot of driving to, well, clinicals, and they reimburse up to 28 cents per mile, which should make quite a dent in covering the costs of getting to and from the clinical area. So that can help out tremendously and things like that. I don't know a lot about it yet, but I know that it is available, and it's something that some of my students are beginning to utilize, and they say that it helps tremendously. Another reason that we have clinics somewhere besides Amarillo is that Amarillo doesn't have very many clinics for us to send students to, so not only do we have not many places to house students, to send the students to go for clinicals, but they don't get a wide variety of environments to observe in and see. So having students go to 2 clinics in Lubbock and 1 in Clovis gives us 3 different facilities, 3 different environments for the students to go to. And the students say that they really benefit from seeing different ways of doing things, different administrative attitudes and different attitudes amongst the department, and each place has its own completely different feel to it, and the students really like seeing those different environments to kind of see what they like and maybe what they don't like, so that they can make better decisions when the time comes for them to go looking for jobs and whatnot. They know what they're looking for. They know what they want better by seeing more places. Something else that is also well worth mentioning about the traveling rotations is that, especially during the first 2 semesters, usually a clinical day, if you're rotated, say, in Amarillo, living in Amarillo, a clinical day is from 7:45 in the morning to 5 o'clock in the afternoon. If you're rotated in one of the driving rotations, Lubbock or Clovis, then your clinical day in the first couple of semesters is 9:30 to 3:30. Now, given that Lubbock and Clovis are about a 2-hour drive, that basically means that your total time commitment is not much more than if you were actually rotated in Amarillo. So you can still do some evening activities in addition to your school stuff, and not have to think about having to spend 2 hours driving on the road after 5 o'clock or whatnot. After the second semester of the program, then the students actually have something of an option to whether they want to do more days, more short days, 9:30 to 3:30 in Lubbock or Clovis, or if they want to do a smaller number of long days, 8 to 5, but not go as many times per week. So after the first couple semesters, then there are some decisions to be made there. Your first keyword, and the only keyword for this section, is yellow. Now I'm going to reach off and turn off this camera. I'm sorry, my remote control no longer works, so you'll be seeing me reaching back and forth to turn this stuff on and off, and we'll continue with the next section.